Matthew chapter 7. And I want to show you what Jesus meant about what I'm just preaching about right now. Practicing faith. Matthew chapter 7. It says, therefore, Matthew 7 from verse 24. It says, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice. Listen, the word there is practice. So in other words, you have heard the word, but then hearing the word is one thing. The faith has a cycle. And I want to share with you that cycle after I've read for you this word. Is that, and puts them into practice, is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Now the rain came. Now remember that the rock is Christ Jesus. Now the rain came down, the storms rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine, listen, everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. What is Jesus saying? He says storms in life will be there. Difficult child times will always be there. Turbulent times will be there. Unpredictable times will be there. Undesirable situations will always be there. For as long as you're on the face of the earth, they will be there. It may not be today. It may not be 5 years from now, but those days will come. All of us have got the good days and the bad days. Every one of us is dealing with something somewhere. All of us. But our reaction to what we face, now the word of the Lord tells us, Jesus tells us clearly that our reaction and our response to what we are facing and dealing with, it is a direct result of your relationship with the word of the Lord. Because if you had been in the habit of constantly acting upon the word of the Lord, obeying it, that means in the day of trouble, in the day when the storm has come, you will be secure, you will be firm, because you will have built your entire life on Christ, the rock, which is the word of the Lord. For John 1:1 says, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, the word was God, and the word was with God. And the same was in the beginning with God. So in other words, if you will have built up a habit of constantly obeying and acting upon the word of the Lord, that means in the day of your worst storm, you will not panic, but you will respond to that storm. Because remember, everything has got ears. Even the storms in your life have got ears. Even the turbulent times have got ears. But everything and all things respond and answer to only one and one thing alone. To faith, which comes by hearing, but hearing by the word of the Lord. There was a storm on the water. There was turbulence on the water. The disciples were panicking. But when Jesus Christ was woken up, he got up and he did not argue with them. He just said, peace, be still.